Hello, Matt.
Hi there.
About the game. This time I'll win.
Nah.
That's it.
Oh, man.
The athlete wins the day.
One more time.
No, that's enough for me.
All right. Here,
Are you sure?
gambling debts are debts of honor.
I'll give it back to you when I don't need it anymore, okay?
Okay, but make sure my mom doesn't catch you with it. She thinks it's dangerous.
All right.
Ow! 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 Ah! Hey, Zola, what in blazes was that?
What?
Something hit me!
You mean someone shot at you?
Yes, well, no, I don't know. Didn't you notice anything?
I was riveted by the fantastic view. We Swiss aren't used to seeing the horizon like this.
And my bottle's broken too! Oh, I don't believe this.
I have to talk, even though he was already... And what about the other gunshot? Could the second missing bullet from... If I want, he won't let... Still work.
Well, do let...
He could be more co-op. No reason to... I hope I don't find... I don't care what... Better not. The little stones make perfect... little stones make perfect ammunition. The little stones make... The death of his mistress. Whatever Constable Oliver... And just a pinch of salt for our friendly constable. Good. Constable Oliver.
Huh?
Ham and eggs, piping hot.
Oh, I shouldn't really.
I don't see anyone here who'd rebuke you. It was a hard night.
Yeah, true. Oh,
There you go, mate.
just enough salt.
You don't expect me to wash your dirty dishes as well, do you?
Oh, of course not, Your Majesty. Could you bring me something to drink? Those ham and eggs were pretty salty.
Let's see how long he can resist his thirst. Not long at all.
I'm a sneaky man.
Nervous? I would be too in your position. Who are you?
My name is Adil, and you are...
Constable Zellner. Why did you sneak onto the ship, Adil?
I wanted to go back home.
You're Egyptian?
There's no work for me in Italy. I want to see my family again.
And since you don't have money, you stowed away.
So what if I did?
So, it was you who knocked me out.
Me? Never.
No? Where were you when I was attacked?
Well, I couldn't take anything with me on this trip, so I snuck into the kitchen and took some canned goods.
Interesting. And how do you know when I was attacked?
Well, I thought it was yesterday, shortly before we set sail.
I take this bump personally. What were you searching for on deck last night?
I was hiding the whole evening. I wanted to go out and get some fresh air, see the stars. But then suddenly, they were looking for me.
Were you in one of the cabins?
No!
Did you see anyone on the deck or on the roof?
No!
And after we arrested you?
The English policeman put me in this cell. Then he left. I've been here ever since.
And you didn't notice anything along the way?
No, nothing.
What about the gunshot? Didn't you hear it?
Yes, the English policeman had already arrested me. We heard a bang and looked around.
And then?
Then, the Bobby was in a hurry to get rid of me. He almost pushed me down the stairs and locked me in here. He left, and then a short time later, the alarm went off.
Constable Oliver wasn't with you anymore when the alarm went off?
No. I was scared that the ship would sink with me sitting here like a rat in a trap.
It's hard for me to believe a single word of your story.
Because I'm a foreigner?
Because you seem to have learned our language in the space of a day. Accent-free.
Believe what you want.
Who paid you to distract us?
What?
You went for a walk around the deck and let yourself be seen. Everyone goes off hunting you, and in the meantime, your partner shoots the Baroness in peace.
No, I didn't do anything. I didn't want to distract anyone. I just want to go home.
You're a liar. And a bad one at that.
But sir, I'm telling the truth.
And I'm the Raven. Inspector Legrand will deal with you. He's lying like a cheap rug. But he probably doesn't know anything about the murder. Very disappointing. So I have to keep searching. What interests me most is the shot that was fired here in the cargo hold last night. Whoever fired the shot hit the crate. Did the shot... Or maybe he needed the bullet. Can't see anything. If the bullet is still stuck in the wood, it's... No. The bullet... The cargo hold also seems to... At least for the ones who don't... A stroke of luck. The lock is open. Oil-stained overalls. And here, an old toolbox. It's been through a lot. I'll take it with me. Some wrenches, a bit of wire wool, an oily cloth.
Ooh, screwdriver. Beautiful.
I've got the screwdriver. Can't see if the wire is too flexible to pull some. I need something. Well, I think the bullet is still in the wood. I'm not a weapons specialist, but at first sight I'd say that this bullet looks exactly the same as the one Dr. Gebhardt gave me for Legrand. That would mean that the murderer also fired a shot here in the cargo hold before the murder. But why? Did they just want to make sure the old guns still worked? And did the bullet really come from the same gun? I can only check that in Legrand's cabin. The young man is lying.
Let me free you, dude. Oh. I didn't.
That takes the biscuit.
I noticed that the door was unguarded. I just wanted to make sure that everything was all right.
Tell it to Legrand. He's expressly forbidden anyone to speak to the witness before he does.
All right. Let's go to Legrand and tell him what happened. You fell asleep and then you left the door unguarded. Well, are we going? Of course. The constable is battling it. He can't expect... This piece, the wire is quite strong. This piece of the wire. I don't know what else. Hello, Matt. Hello, Matt.
Hi there.
Matt, what? Here's your...
Really? Really?
You're welcome, but... You should put Constable Oliver on the...
Don't worry.
Good man. I have to leave again.
Sure.
Maybe Miss Miller. Unfortunate people with low I don't know what else. metal of the metal of the
Okay.
The death. Dr. Gebhardt locked the door. Something tell. Dr. Something.
I really should have a gun.
The lock isn't a.
Whoa. What? No fucking way. Bro, are you kidding me right now? I have to be a fucking lock. I'm not lock picking lawyer. I wish I was.
There we go.
I'm amazing. Be very, very quiet.
A lock master and if I wanted to steal the eye,
Okay.
neatly fold Legrand had. Legrand. He seems.
Yeah. Bro.
A might. There's nothing, and therefore. I can't put the pillowcase on, but I don't need to. Okay. I need the second bullet for. Legrand must have taken. Yes, that's how we found her yesterday. I think. I wasn't really myself at the time. Yes. The bed, the blood spot. The spot on the sheet is much bigger than the one on the mattress. There's blood on the blanket as well. A lot of blood, I'd say. The blanket and the sheet are gone. I guess they're in the medical center. A rough diagram of the ship. Legrand marked the Baroness's cabin. Seems like he didn't turn up anything else of note. This photo provides an overview of the crime scene. Shot in her sleep. She didn't feel a thing. There's nothing written on the bottle. I suppose it's some sort. Legrand has been awake for at least. I shudder to think what kind of side. A policeman on a murder. The risk that he could miss. Legrand's file on the Raven. Centimeters thick, but totally useless. We're not Our man is ruthless. A bomber and. This file belongs in a museum. The inspector should concentrate. This is the pipe from the. Legrand seems to have inspected it for fingerprint. No. Nothing. Either he wore gloves. Aha. That's the bullet the duck. Another alarm. It was tripped at some point. There are still fragments of the syringe. Why is he pushing himself like this? I need. All right. That's the proof. Whoever shot the Baroness also fired the shot in the cargo hold. What could that mean? A masterpiece. Forensic placing increasing importance on it's a small. All right. What? Half of the tools in this box. Actually, forensics and I'm sure Legrand could. What's this? Oh, how practical. A hermetically sealed cotton swab for. I'll take it. Good Lord. For forensics in the woods or the open country. Fingerprints out. Good Lord. A small glass. Aha. This is some kind of inventory list. For each and here's a list of the most fingerprints. I don't have to analyze the pillow and feathers to determine whether there's gunshot residue. I can smell it. The booklet will be useful. Both bullets. That means that fact may be important. I'm sure that the pillow was used. Dr. Gebhardt. Something.
Leader.
The death. I always wanted to do that. That should be enough.
Oh yeah, just put it in your pocket. That's safe. Can I look it through a microscope now?
Dr. Geb, something.
Can I put this under the microscope? Or is he going to just say, oh, that's blood stuff?
cotton picked up traces of blood.
But what can I use it for? I'm not sure. Oh god.
If everything goes according to plan, fingers crossed.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing now. I think I can unscrew something and all that. Let's go and do that. I think it might be out here. Up these stairs.
With the top, you can. I don't. The cotton. The constable is battling. You can't expect. The gang. Why did the murderer drop the gun on the gang? So, why didn't they take the gun and throw it? I'm sure. These things may. Mr. Lady Westmacott.
By all means.
Did Miss Miller cope with all the excitement?
I think so. But what happened on the train? She wouldn't be able to go on if...
She's worried about him.
He's all she has. But she sets her wishes and needs.
Where is Matthew's father?
He drank a lot.
He left her.
She couldn't have borne it. And when he left her, if she didn't have Matthew...
You seem to know a lot of...
I have my reasons.
And Matthew.
If you fail with your own child...
And the idea to send Matt to a boarding school
was mine. Matthew idolized his father. I was afraid the situation would escalate. He quickly made friends, and his relationship with his mother has improved as well.
Miss Miller told me that you have a valuable manuscript.
That is correct.
An unpublished Part 2 novel.
Oh, It's not I wrote it 20 years ago. It's Partou's last case.
You're going to kill him off?
I already have.
Madam.
I was keen to stick a knife in his guts. Of course, I didn't want to disappoint, so I let him solve case after case. But at least I was certain that he'd never escape me.
I understand. Let's just hope that this novel remains unpublished. I have to be going.
Please keep me informed.
Of course. I'm sure coffees, but the bullet from the cargo hold was fired by a vital breakthrough. But I still can't present the murderer to Legrand. The cotton picked the bullet from the Mr. Kreutzer. Lady West, but maybe I saw.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking.
The death of the bear.
I know that. Maybe I just have to place it on the desk, maybe? I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm sure that the pillow was used as a silencer. If the cotton picked up traces of the cotton. A small glove. Good Lord. Which of these chemicals are for analyzing blood? Good Lord. Which of these chemicals are... Wasn't there something about blood samples? Fingerprints? Well, it explains how to confirm that something is blood. You have to mix luminol and a hydrogen peroxide solution. The solution turns blue and glows, even if there's just a very small amount of blood. Okay then, luminol and hydrogen peroxide. Aha! Luminol. And there's the hydrogen peroxide. I'll mix it with the luminol in the bowl. Okay. I can detect blood with this mixture. The clear... All right. So this... Okay. I'm filling the pipette and putting it down very carefully. So, let's see what we have here. No blood. Not the slightest reaction. If I didn't make
Oh,
a
shit.
mistake,
It's
and
fake.
it wasn't that
It's fake
difficult,
blood.
then the
Shit.
spot on the Baroness's bed isn't really blood. But if it isn't blood, what is it?
Oh.
And more importantly, why didn't Dr. Gebhardt notice anything? He was supposed to have examined everything.
Finally, Jesus Christ. Whew.
It seems impossible that Dr. Gebhardt, but he must have noticed that the Baroness was lying in a pool of fake blood. Maybe he's covering for someone. Let's find out.
That's not. He may be evil. Okay, we're just in
It's
his
probably for
lab.
emergencies, and possibly due to rough seas.
Okay.
The sink looks
Good
like
to
it's been
know.
cleaned recently. I can't say whether it was cleaned to comply with the hygiene regulations or...
Okay. Oh, search the drawer.
Interesting. A tape on a reel. The reel belongs to a much better player, like the one from the Baroness's cabin. I can't be certain that this is the reel that was missing from the Baroness's cabin, but it seems quite likely.
You just gonna just okay.
Okay. Nothing. Strange. There. Very interesting.
It's fake.
A shot is audible on the tape, and there...
Oh shit.
I guess the trash bin is in here. Right. Paper towels, plastic packaging, cartons, and... Hold on.
Oh,
What's this?
A bloody glove.
burst rubber glove. It's knotted, and there's a red liquid all over the inside that looks like blood. I bet good money that it's the same fake blood I found in the Baroness's cabin.
yeah.
Dr. Gebhardt will have trouble explaining how rubber gloves full of fake blood got into his trash bin. First, the fake blood he missed in the Baroness's cabin, and now this. That's proof enough for me that I should report.
Oh shit, I should. Let's go.
Time to pay Legrand a visit. No.
Of course. He was evil.
Why couldn't you just leave it be? Let me go. Why are you doing this to me? You and the Baroness. Dr. Gebhardt, I don't know. Don't you understand what you are forcing me to do? You don't have to. It is almost over. You feel a thing. I am sorry you have to see all this. I should have used more chloroform.
Yeah, you should have.
Chloroform. Still partly numb. Can't reach it.
Stop talking loudly.
A pair of scissors.
Already. Enough of that, Mr. Soon it will all be...
Alright.
I am sorry you have to see all this.
Have to. Chloroform?
I had it in my bag, just in case. You were supposed to be asleep. I have nothing against you, but what can I do? It's your fault.
Keep talking. Why?
Why did the Baroness have to snoop around? Why did you have to snoop around? And that glove there. You want to plant evidence on me, yeah? I left no evidence. There is no trail.
On and on. And what next?
Heart failure. I am still considering whether I should throw you overboard. But what if I'm seen? My plan was perfect. Take it easy, Mr. Zellner. You will only hurt yourself. Shall we begin? I will.
Are you okay?
Thanks.
A wet towel works miracles. I told you so.
Out with it
Let's
then.
go.
What were you doing down there?
Inspector, at least let the constable recover his breath.
He almost killed himself.
Me? No. Dr. Gebhardt would have taken care of that for me. Where is he?
Gebhardt? He's vanished without a trace. We're searching the ship from top to bottom.
One at a time. Tell me, Zellner, what did you find out?
Dr. Gebhardt killed Baroness von Trebitz.
Impossible.
Do you have proof?
Besides the fact that he wanted to kill me,
But wasn't the doctor with you when the shot was fired?
the gunshot was just a distraction. It wasn't the shot that killed the Baroness.
But how?
The shot that we heard was a recording. The Baroness had a tape recorder and good speakers in her cabin. Good enough to make the noise audible on the upper deck.
Is that just your suspicion, or do you have proof?
There's an audio tape in the medical center. The reel belongs to the tape player in the Baroness's cabin. And there's a sibling reel in her cabin that belongs to the recorder in the medical center. He recorded it in the cargo hold. His tape recorder has a microphone, and I removed a bullet from one of the boxes down there.
And it came from the murder weapon?
All right.
Inspector Legrand.
Let's pretend you're onto something. The shot we heard was just a recording. What happened next?
We all ran to the Baroness's cabin. She lay comatose in a pool of blood. Dr. Gebhardt pushed past you so that you couldn't get too close to the Baroness. He examined her and pronounced her dead. There was no reason for us to doubt him. The shot, the blood, the Baroness lying there lifelessly. But she was only unconscious, knocked out by the chloral hydrate that the doctor had poured into her glass shortly before.
The doctor had a glass in his hand when you came in.
He wanted to remove the evidence, but you gave me the glass instead, Captain DeConti, and unintentionally knocked me out as well.
Nonsense. There was blood everywhere. And the Baroness is certainly dead enough, isn't she?
Then who did shoot her? And when?
She wasn't shot. She was poisoned.
And yet I saw the hole in her chest with my own eyes.
Aha!
She must have been shot.
Well, ingenious. Where was she shot?
As I already said, it was Dr. Gebhardt. He had the sleeping Baroness brought to the medical center, where he had all the time in the world to shoot her.
A fine theory, but unfortunately incorrect. I examined the Baron.
Besides which, she was already cold when we brought her to the med.
All the same, it's worth the doctor was alone in the cabin for a while. When the alarm went off, it was deafening. I couldn't.
And I found a pillow with burn marks. Could have been used to muffle a gunshot.
And the blood?
The blood wasn't real. Dr. Gebhardt mixed up a liquid that looked like fresh blood to the casual observer, but the liquid remained red instead of becoming darker and browner from exposure to the air. That meant he had to clean the body and get rid of the bedding.
But the blood was already there when we first entered the cabin.
Dr. Gebhardt was in the Baroness's cabin before the murder. He hid a surgical glove full of the red liquid under her sheet. The Baroness, dead tired, fell onto her bed, the glove burst, and the blood spread across the bed. I found the burst glove in the medical center.
But why did he do it? What was his motive?
Inspector?
It had to do with the Eye of the Sphinx. The Baroness was supposed to bring one of the keys to Cairo. I don't think so, but perhaps he was working with him.
No.
Do you have anything to contribute, Constable?
Confession, sir. Dr. Gebhardt was the Raven. It's all here. He admits to everything.
What does it say?
It says, "Do you still remember, my dear Nico? The streets were wet with rain, and the scent of roasted barley and fermenting yeast wafted over to us from the brewery. A dog barked until your shot struck down the innocent one. After that silence, not a single sound, except for my soft steps fading on the wet cobblestone street. They made a hero of you, and I, at last, found peace. At least until the urge returned. Some of us are not made for retirement, my friend. I thought they would assign this case to you, and that thought pleased me. We'd finally find out who was truly the better man. And it pains me now to have to admit that you and your little gumshoe got the better of me. You drove me into a corner, forced me to make mistakes. I congratulate you on your triumph, but no one will confine the Raven to a cage. There is but one way out, and that is by my own hand. Farewell, Raven Hunter. R.
Inspector Legrand.
Inspector?
I was right. I told them all, over and over again. But no one would listen.
What about the handwriting, the wording? Does the farewell letter match the Raven's other letters?
Yes, it's his handwriting, his words. I've read all the Raven's letters, all of them, over.
I never thought it was possible.
The Raven was never dead. I shot the wrong man.
But that man had the stolen goods, didn't he? So he must have been in league with the Raven.
The things Gephardt describes in his letter aren't part of any police report. Only someone who was there would know them.
Couldn't there have been others involved? One of the police, for instance. What if one of them changed sides?
Why is it so hard for you to accept the simple truth? There was never a new Raven. There was only ever the old one. And that was Dr. Gephardt.
The modus operandi doesn't match. The Raven was not a killer.
Legends are rarely what they seem to be, Constable Zellner.
Then who was the man who was killed back then?
William Jackson, a petty thief, committed some burglaries together with his brother. Talented, but not world-class.
And they thought he was the Raven.
Some people thought it was part of his disguise. If you're a debonair master thief, what better disguise than pretending to be a common crook? From time to time you let them catch you pulling small jobs, and no one ever imagines you're capable of a major heist.
But you didn't believe it.
I had my doubts, but everyone congratulated me, and those doubts were pushed aside. It was like being caught in a storm, but eventually the storm passed and my doubts were still there.
But not this time? No doubts telling you that Gebhardt isn't our man?
It must be him.
Where do we go from here?
We deliver the eye and then I'll contact Paris. The task force will compare all of Gephardt's known residences with the Raven's activity.
And if there are any inconsistencies?
You're welcome to keep an eye on the safe if you can't let it go. The ship will remain in Cairo for 1 day. That's all the time you'll have to catch your own Raven. I already have mine.
Ah, you're one of Legrand's men, aren't you?
My name is Anton Jakob Zellner.
You've come just in time. Grace, my dachshund, is missing.
There may be more important matters for me to attend to, Mr.
Director Abbas Mokhtar. And Grace isn't just a common dog. She's a purebred German dachshund, a champion.
So, the exhibition will still open tonight.
But of course, everything has been arranged. The final preparations are almost complete.
But one of the two exhibits won't be there.
A terrible loss, a tragedy. That irreplaceable Egyptian cultural treasure has been stolen for the second time.
The second time?
What? Did you really believe that the Eye of the Sphinx was found lying on the banks of the Thames?
Inspector Legrand, Professor Lucien, and Constable Oliver are overseeing the transportation of the safe. They should be here at any moment. I'll have a look around in the meantime.
Do you think that's necessary?
If you mean Dr. Gebhardt, his body was never recovered. Nor the stolen Eye of the Sphinx, for that matter.
It does us a great honor that the Inspector is concerned about us. But
Legrand isn't as concerned as he should be.
yes, only carefully selected guests may enter, and of course, you're one of them, Mr. Constable.
What can you tell me about the museum's security system?
One of the best on the market. And the second eye will still be exhibited in our special treasure chamber, which is extra secure.
Treasure chamber?
The eye is as safe as the British crown jewels.
I think I'll have a look around the museum.
Please do. There's a lot to see. And you let me know if you see Grace. Isn't it fantastic how he solved the murder on the ship?
Legrand?
Of course. It's in all the newspapers. The murder of the wealthy Baroness von Trebitz, and how the great Inspector Legrand identified the murderer in just one day. It's the stuff legends are made of.
What exactly do the newspapers say?
Everything. It's fantastic. Of course, it's a great advertising for us.
And it was reported that Legrand found the murderer.
Of course. Who else?
Well, I wasn't exactly uninvolved. Well then.
Be seeing you, Constable. Grace. Here, Grace.
He's just taking everything.
My sweetheart. Where are you?
Oh, Mr. Inch.
Mr. Inch. There. I am so sorry.
As you say, sir.
And you? Are you leaving so soon?
I'd like to go back to my hotel.
First, you sneak into the museum without greeting me.
I didn't want to disturb you.
Yes, you simply must come tonight.
Of course.
The Baroness paid for all this.
She was very generous.
Yes, she was.
If you'll excuse me now. Constable Zellner,
My pleasure.
Right, I'm gonna save it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, I'll play this. I'll play this another day. But goodbye. Bye bye. Bye. Bye bye.